I host a web show called 3LW-TV, which basically, in a lot of my travels, I get a chance to go all over the world, and I cover a lot of our events. I interview wonderful people in the community, and basically I am providing positive images of the African American LGBT community.
So you get to go all over the world. So how was that made possible?
That is made possible through divine order and and my wonderful job, which allows me, basically my job allows me to travel extensively. So that's what I do. Okay,
so when did you start your channel first, I say?
Let's see, my channel I think started maybe two and a half years ago, and really I didn't have content. I wasn't trying to put a show together or anything at that time. In fact, the first video that I ever posted on YouTube was actually of a comedian out of New York, Harmonica Sunbeam, and she did this stint down here, and I posted a little bit of it on YouTube, and that was really the first thing. And then I kind of started messing around with different videos and putting up raw footage. I didn't know how to edit anything, so as I learned how to do that, then it kind of progressed, and I had a blog at the time, which I still have, and I took from my travels, the pictures and stuff from the blog, and then they started becoming videos, and the show kind of launched, or the idea of the show kind of launched when I met B. Scott. We went to dinner in California a couple years ago, and we had such a great time, and then after dinner, we were having such a great time. We're like, okay, let's go to Starbucks. So we went to Starbucks, and we were yapping, and then we did like a little interview there. I had this little tiny little camera, and but he was willing, and he was like, yeah. So he did the interview, and I posted that up, and then one of my other friends, Jordan, who lives over in Amsterdam, or just outside of Amsterdam, said, you know, you really could do something with this. And so they kind of planted the seeds and kind of encouraged me to do it, and then I just said, well, if I'm going to do it, it's going to have to be right, it's going to have to look good and be good, and so it's kind of grown from there. And the very first person that I ever had on the show as a guest, once it was 3LW-TV, was Alexis K. Tyler, Mr. Vagina Power. That's my girl. So
that was the first person, and the one that basically got your idea together. I mean, the one that started kind of was B. Scott. So who was your favorite person meeting and interviewing, or just meeting, and what was one of your favorite moments?
Wow, my favorite person interviewing, oh my goodness, I don't know that I have a single one, because my interviews are always really just wonderful.
And besides the fact that you have a novel full.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of content. Wow, but there have been so many wonderful moments. I remember the first time I met Scorpion, Kevin from the Scorpion Show, when I went up to Philadelphia to interview him. He was so shy. When you look at Kevin now, he's got such a big personality, and it was like, okay, got to coach this little kid. It's gonna be all right. I'm not gonna hurt you. But we had that was memorable, and it was fun. And it's always like exciting for me to meet people. Like when I interviewed Nunu from Texas, when he was on the show early on, and Zim Van Adams, it was just so wonderful to me that, that they were receptive to me when I approached them, about even being on the show. So there have been a lot of memorable moments. And then something that was really memorable, I think, for me this year probably was Sizzle Miami, because that was, even though the videos had been up for about a year, when I went to Sizzle, that was really the first time I met so many people at the same time who watched the videos, and they just gave me so much love, and that was just it was very humbling, but at the same time it was like reassuring that what you're doing, though it's hard work and sheer hell at sometimes, people are benefiting from it. People do appreciate it, and again, it just reiterates the whole theme of what I'm about walking in your truth and your light. And because we always hear the shade and the negativity about the community, but I don't always see that. I see a lot of love. I see a lot of progressive people, a lot of successful people doing things, and that's what I want to continue to show.
No, this year actually you went to Sizzle Miami, and so last year I also was aware that you went to Sweet and Greet. So what's different between this Labor Day this year and last Labor Day?
I won't be attending this year, and the reason that I'm not doing that is because I will be at Inferno DR this year down in the Dominican Republic. And they had actually approached me last year about coming down and hosting a couple of events and covering Inferno, but I had already had commitments in Atlanta. So this year, they got me last year right after Labor Day for this year. So I'm really excited about going down and seeing all the hot Dominicanos and then all the beautiful African American children coming over from the States. It's going to be wild. I mean, such a beautiful location. There's a glass bottom boat tour that I'm hosting, so that's going to be hilarious. And I did a pillow talk with the owner Tim. I'm not the owner. The owner Will and one of the models from Inferno on my pillow talk series. And all people could talk about was the hot boys in bed, which is all they ever talk about on the pillow talk. Nobody's listening to what anybody is saying. They're just Googling. But no. But that's why I'm not going to be attending this year. But a whole bunch of popular bloggers will be in Atlanta. I know Scorpion and Mikhail will be down. Nunu will be down. Africano Boy. I can't remember if Zim is coming this year or not. But there's quite a few people that are coming. So I mean, and Candy, she just always does such a wonderful job with her sweet and greet. So I'm sorry I'm going to miss it, but I got to go with where they paying me to be. So no to Atlanta, get on your job, get on it this year, soon for next year. But we'll see. No, I'm just glad that I have the opportunity to be able to hang out down in the Dominican Republic.
Is this your first time being to the Dominican Republic?
It is. I've been to 38 countries. 38. That's a lot.
Okay, so I asked you, what was your favorite moment? So what's your favorite place that you have visited?
My favorite place that I visited, I've got so many, but I will say Costa Rica. And the reason I liked Costa Rica so much is because it was really simple. It was naturally beautiful. The people were so wonderful to me, and it was like man's connected to nature, and it was really a part of life. Everyone was just kind of really connected to the water, to the trees, the forest. I mean, everything was just connected. People were living off the land. It was just beautiful to see. It was like, wow, this is like kind of how we're really supposed to be living. And you didn't see a bunch of obesity. People had beautiful skin. People weren't stressed out. It was just so peaceful. So I think that probably is still, and that was one of the first trips I ever went on, but that was probably one of my favorite places. Now for partying, wow, that's different. Ibiza's probably number one, number two maybe, or I don't have a good time over in Europe. I love London, I love Berlin, I love Paris. I mean, I love the European cities too, so I don't know.
Is there any places you haven't been that you would like to, just go see or?
Absolutely. Can you believe after going to 38 countries, I have still never been to the continent of Africa? So that's what's next. And it's funny because I went to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and as we were landing, Jeddah is just across the sea, the Red Sea from Egypt. So just as we were landing, we were like, oh wow, we were flying over the pyramids, we flew over Cairo, and you could see all this stuff. And I was like, so close, but not quite. Flying over it is not the same as being there. So that's what's next for me, Africa.
Okay, so could you tell us a little bit about Glow TV Network?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about Glow TV. No, I'm kidding. I am so excited about the Glow TV project. Maurice Jamal and his whole team, they really have worked hard and diligently to launch this. It launches Labor Day weekend. And they're going to make a big announcement during the Pride Labor Day in Atlanta at the time that I'll actually be in the Dominican Republic. They've got quite a few shows. I still, at this point, am not officially on the network. We've been in discussions. They've sponsored some of my videos, which is why a lot of people have seen the Glow TV logo on 30WTV, because they have been working with me, and they've also, like I said, been sponsoring some of my videos. So but we're very close to closing a deal, and at that point 30WTV would move onto their network, and we're still discussing if we're going to expand the episodes beyond the 15 minutes or so. It just depends. But I can tell you that it's an exciting project. Like I said, Maurice Jamal, Justin. If you've watched Justin's HIV Journal, he's on the network. The guys from Christopher Street TV. You've got drama queens, Adam Irby. I mean, it's just all this wealth of talent from our community that's going to be premiering. And I'm very excited. Whether or not I end up being on the network in the end or not, I'm very excited about supporting it because I just think it's long overdue.
It really is. Because everybody can't watch the logo.
No. I mean, no shade against Logo, because if Logo came and offered me a deal, it's not like I'm going to say, no, you're Logo, and let me close the door. They're doing what they can do, and I have to always give props to Logo, because what other network has ever launched their network with the Black Gay series? None, besides Noah's Ark. So I always have mad love and mad respect for Logo, because even though it's going in a different direction now, when they came into being to begin with, they actually launched it with the Black Gay Network. So I thought that was different and hot.
So as a part of the community, it is just the thing that we're going to start doing. We want to know your outlook. Interesting,
because I was just attending a Deeper Love Project meeting in Atlanta the other day, and I told this same story. But basically, for me, that was a long time ago.